Hi, for this video what I want to do is talk with you about the definition of coterminal angles. Coterminal angles are angles which share the same initial side and terminal side, so they start at the same place and end at the same place, but they differ from each other by a multiple of 360 degrees. So I have a couple of examples here so you can see why they are coterminal, how they start at the same place and how they end at the same place. So the first example that I have is 80 degrees and 440 degrees. So let's look at these and figure out why they are considered coterminal. So the first one, 80 degrees, if you remember, for standard position, we start with the vertex on the origin and we always start on the positive x-axis. So we're going to start here and then we're going to rotate 80 degrees. So 80 degrees would get us almost to 90, but not quite. And so we can see the first angle easily that we rotated 80 degrees. Now let's look at the second angle, the 440 degrees. So the 440 degrees, when we look at this, we know that we've gone around an entire circle to get to 440 degrees because it's more than 360 degrees. So we would go to 360 degrees and we're going to keep rotating. So what we need to do is figure out how much past 360 degrees is 440. So if I take 440 degrees and I subtract 360 degrees, we end up with a total of 80 degrees, so it will stop at the same place as my 80-degree opening. So that's why they're considered coterminal angles, because they start at the same place. And they, after rotating the number of degrees, they end at the same point as well. So another one that we have here, so that you can see that it doesn't just have to differ by 360 degrees, is 140 and 860 degrees. So the first angle, 140 degrees, we always start again with our vertex on the origin, that's the standard position, and we start at the positive x-axis. And so when we rotate 140 degrees, we know that when we get to the positive y-axis, we've rotated 90. And so then we would have to go 50 more degrees, which is a little bit over halfway in between the two, to get to a 140 degree opening. We know that this is going to be in quadrant 2 because it's between 90 and 180 degrees. So we went a little bit more than halfway because it's 90 plus 50 gives us 140 degrees. So now let's look at the 860 degrees. So the 860 degrees, for this one, we are going to rotate, and when we get to 360 degrees, if we subtract it, it's still greater than 360 degrees, so we know we have to go around a second time, which would put us at 720 degrees. And then if we go another 90 degrees, or we could take 860 minus 2 times 360, which is 720. We can see that the difference between those is 140 degrees. So we can see that after we've done our 2 full rotations to get the 720 degrees, we have to rotate an additional 140 degrees and we end up at the same stopping point as before. So coterminal angles just mean that they start at the same place. After their rotation, depending upon how many revolutions around the entire circle you're talking about, plus the extra, they end up with the same end point. As always, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. If there are additional topics you need me to cover, please let me know that as well.